Hi everybody! So the big thing that I wanted to talk about today were the Madagascar Wild Peppercorns. That is a spice that we have featured a couple of times here in Indri's Vanilla Bean group as a group order, and they're really popular and people really like them. We have decided to only do these as a group order once per year. The last time we had them as a group order was actually in February of 2024, and they are coming up for a group order on April 14th. This is a little sample that I had in, this is my personal sample. So they have these little stems, and you can see that there I was able to break it off, but it's not very easy to break off, nor is it necessary. All right, you don't need to take off these stems. They're all edible, and you just grind them up like the rest of the peppercorn. Wild Madagascar peppercorns are grown wild. We have people ask us if they're organic. Well, they're wild grown and wild harvested. These will be $4 an ounce, and we're going to be doing them as a true pre-order. That means that we will not be bringing in the inventory to us before we sell them to you. We will be fielding your orders, and you get to claim as much as you would like, up to 70 ounces, because that's how much we can fit in a mailer. Actually, that might be different for pepper. No, they're pretty dense. So I think that we can fit 70 ounces in a mailer. Or if you want more than 70 ounces, well, then you can order twice. The shipping costs are the same as vanilla beans. So we'll have a little shipping chart on the thing, but you'd order them the same way that you would order vanilla beans. That is that you would go to our resources page, select the first resource, which is the join group order, find the open order form. It's not open right now. It will open on April 14th, which is not for like another week. You'll fill out a Google form for as many ounces of these peppercorns as you would like, and then you'll calculate your own total, including shipping, and send that in via the links provided or the method that you select on that group order. But the difference is between a pre-order and buying them like a true pre-order and then buying them the way we've been recently doing a lot of our vanilla bean orders is that the turnaround time for these peppercorns is undetermined. In the past, it has stretched from anywhere from like 6 weeks to like 6 months. And I'm trying to be really clear about this so that we don't have people being like, what? These haven't showed up. When are they ever going to come? Well, we're telling you right now, right ahead of time, these could be a very long turnaround time. They could surprise us. They've surprised us in the past, and they've shown up and we're like, whoa, we're ready to fulfill already. But sometimes the turnaround time can be a really long time. The benefits of doing these pre-orders like this, where you tell us how many you want, we calculate up the total for the whole group, and then we just import that much, is that it makes them less expensive because we don't have to store them. We don't have to float the cost out and hope that we end up selling them all. And we don't have to do really stressful flash sales. Sometimes, so in the past, we have done peppercorns as a flash sale, where we bring in a couple of pallets of peppercorns, then we sell exactly how much we have. And one of two things happens. Either we sell out very quickly and people get really upset because they didn't get a chance to buy their favorite peppercorn, or they don't sell out and we end up having to store a lot of inventory. And we can't store them in the same facility as we store vanilla beans. So that means that we have to rent separate facilities to store the peppercorns, which means that the price goes up. So because of all of those things, and because it's just less stressful for us, and because we're in charge of making these choices, we've decided to do these as a once annual, one time a year, true pre-order. You'll have a full week to order as much as you would like. And then we will import them. And when they arrive to us, which again, could be 6 weeks to like 6 months, we don't know. But then we will fulfill them all and send them all to you. So, and I did want to mention, if you're a little bit nervous about that potential of like a 6-month turnaround time, which is fair, that's nerve-wracking. We do have the individual order lookup tool. It is the second resource down in our resources page. And I did link the resources page in the description of this video. And that lookup tool allows you to make adjustments to your address. So if you're ordering now and you're like, I might be moving in the next few months, or you never just never know, don't worry, you'll still have plenty of opportunities. And as soon as the peppercorns get close to us, as soon as we've got tracking numbers and we know that they're on their way to us, we will let you know, and we'll give you as many heads up as we can so that you can hop on, make sure that your address is still okay, make sure that your payment information is all squared away. Although you will need to pay for the peppercorns when you place the order, not when we ship the order. So anyway, but you'll have time to double check your address to make sure it's okay before we fulfill them and send them to you. So if you have any questions about how the Madagascar Wild Peppercorn group order pre-order will work, please put them in the comments. Flavor-wise, they're peppery, but they're not as hot as your just standard black peppercorns that you would get at the grocery store. I feel like there's like an herby component, like sage or maybe basil. We really like them on tomatoes or cheese. They make a fantastic caprese salad topper. Really good. Or with eggs, like we're going to do today. But I did want to show some of the other peppercorns that we also have. These are white peppercorns, and this is an indrivanilla.com exclusive. This is not something that we're currently offering as a group order. And these ones have a little bit more of a lemony smell to them. And then these are cubeb peppercorns. And you can see they also have a little tail on them, but they're a little bit chunkier than the, I don't know if you can, we'll do this kind of a thing. Cubeb peppercorns in my left hand, and then my right hand has the wild peppercorns. So you can see the cubeb peppercorns are bigger. The cubeb peppercorns also have kind of a rosemary lemon kind of a aroma to them, and then the wild Madagascar are more like sagey and peppery. The cubeb peppercorns and the white peppercorns are retail exclusives, so those are both available on indrivanilla.com. I just wanted you to see, because sometimes people have shared photos of like the cubeb peppercorns, and people thought they were the wild peppercorns and got kind of nervous about that. They are different. So these are the ones that we sell on indrivanilla.com. White peppercorns, cubeb peppercorns, wild peppercorns. These are some just ones from my local grocery store. These are black peppercorns. So you can see they don't have the little tails. And you know what? These are probably, botanically speaking, not actual peppercorns, but they taste so much like it, and they're used in the same way that we're gonna go with what their name is, which is wild Madagascar peppercorns. But these are just regular black peppercorns that have your familiar, really spicy, sneeze-inducing aroma they're king of spices, right? They're really good. I'm not going to disparage these at all. These are different products, and I like all of them for different uses. So anyway, we like to sell, at Indri Vanilla, we like to sell things that you can't buy at the grocery store, or at least would be prohibitively expensive to buy at the grocery store. That's why we're doing these like gourmet peppercorns, and also it's just fun. I think most of us have probably had deviled eggs before. I thought these would be a really good vehicle for trying those peppercorns, the wild Madagascar peppercorns, because they're a simple flavor. And I also asked my kiddo who's holding the camera and said, do you want poached eggs or do you want deviled eggs? And she said,
deviled eggs.
I think we like deviled eggs. There are so many fun variations too for deviled eggs. I'm going to just keep them super classic and simple today with just mayonnaise and mustard. So got that there. Let's see, peppercorns. So I'm going to reload this. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you that what I had in that jar was 1 ounce. Or sorry, in this little thing. I actually weighed them out. So that was 1 ounce. So when you are saying how much is in an ounce, that's how much it was. So if you can just remember in your brain how much there was in there, that was 1 ounce. And that will be the unit that we sell them by. They'll be $4 an ounce. All right, so I'm just going to crack a few of these. So you can see this is just a normal pepper grinder. and I'm cracking them whole. I did not toast these. You can toast them, but you don't have to. All right, and then now that I have cracked them, what do you think?
Oh, I can smell them from here. They smell so good.
Yeah, cracking them definitely makes them far more aromatic. They have kind of a bit of a sagey, peppery smell. So they work really well with things where you might want that kind of herby flavor. They work great with fresh vegetables like cucumbers, tomatoes, straight from the garden. Yeah, out of this world. And these are great on poultry, chicken, turkey. They're also great on fish. And I cracked, you just crack them whole. You can see that there's still a few little pieces of the stem in there. That doesn't bother me too much. If you want to get rid of those kinds of things, well, I mean, the stems are completely edible. But if that texture is not what you're looking for, try and find one with a finer grind. You can also grind these up in a spice grinder or in a blender. Just pulse it until it's the texture that you're looking for. They should be just fine. Like any ground spice, though, they start losing their flavor the second that they're ground. So if you're going to do a spice grinder or something like that, I might recommend just doing small batches, just the amount that you're kind of looking for that day or for a couple of days worth of pepper. But yeah, you can use these like any other, like regular black peppercorns. So if you are interested in the wild Madagascar peppercorns, set your alarms, keep your eyes peeled, peeled like deviled eggs, peeled.
Yes.
So we're doing smoked paprika too. And then I think I'll put just a little bit more of those wild peppercorns on top. They're smelling so good. This is what they look like all done. That one was kind of a big one. Yum. They're so slippery. But we love deviled eggs.
Camera's trying to focus.
All right, here we go.
Jack says that smoked is better. And I agree.
Those are so good. That wild peppercorn, the way it works with the spicy Dijon mustard and that little bit of smokiness from the smoked paprika. All right, my camera person's going to eat one behind the camera. I don't know if there's a very professional way to eat a deviled egg. It's just really, really, really good. Okay, what do you think? How'd they turn out?
That's better than your usual deviled egg, I feel like.
Huh. Well, I normally use regular black peppercorns, and I used wild peppercorns.
It's spicier, I feel like. Like, not spicy, but like the flavor of the pepper is more enhanced.
It's so good. Those wild peppercorns in there, like they just have that unique flavor component. I say it's kind of an herby, like basil-y, sagey herb or flavor component. I'll show you the peppercorns one more time with my wet fingers. But again, and this is my personal supply, so I don't mind kind of poking at it. But yeah, that's what they look like. They have these little stems on them, which are totally edible, and you just grind them along with the stems. And I started with an ounce. An ounce is about a quarter of a cup, but I had an ounce in there to begin with. So that's some information about the Madagascar Wild Peppercorns. We've got a lot of cool stuff happening. So anyway, hope you have a wonderful week. Please let us know if you have further questions. We'll talk to you later. Bye.